For joining us here on KRON 4 News at noon. I'm Stephanie Lynn. The Giants are hiring Tennessee Volunteers coach Tony Vitello to lead the team. It'll be his first pro coaching job. 47-year-old Vitello making the jump after spending his entire career at the college level. Last year, he led the Volunteers to the College World Series championship. And shortly after the announcement, the Tennessee Baseball's X account posting this message right there on your screen there. They say, quote, "It was one heck of a ride. Congratulations on making history as the first collegiate head coach to move directly to MLB manager." KRON 4 Sports Director Scott Reiss joining us live now over the phone to discuss what this means for the franchise. Good afternoon to you, Scott.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, so this is a pretty bold move by the Giants and new president Buster Posey, hiring a college coach with no pro experience. What message does this send to about the direction the organization is heading?
Well, I think the first message it sends is that Buster Posey is going to do what Buster Posey thinks is best for the organization and not what the world might believe to be the best course of action. You use the word bold, and I think that is appropriate. Hiring someone who has never coached or managed a day in Major League Baseball, coming directly from college. This has never happened before. There are some who draw parallels to Pat Murphy of the Brewers, who had no managerial experience, came out of college, and now manages Milwaukee and has done a fantastic job. But he had 8 years as the Brewers bench coach before ascending to manager, so it's not completely the same situation. I think the bottom line is this was a manager that aligned with Posey's philosophies. They obviously are very much in tune in terms of what they believe the direction of this franchise should be. And Buster went with his gut, and it's a bold move, and hopefully it pays off.
Yeah, and Tony Vitello, he's known for building a winning culture at Tennessee. Major League Baseball, of course, as you know, a very different world. What do you see being the biggest adjustment for him at this new level?
Boy, I think it's going to be all about how he relates to the clubhouse. And I think that, and I'm just guessing here, but from what I know about Tony Vitello, he is a boisterous, outgoing coach. He has had the reputation of a bit of a rebel rouser. He is not going to shy away from any aspect of this job. And I think that the big question will be, how does that personality align with the players? It's funny because there were Giants fans out there when Bob Melvin was let go initially who thought, wow, let's bring back Bruce Bochy. And this is about as opposite Bruce Bochy as you can possibly get. Now, I'm not here to tell you that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you've got Boch with 2,200 career wins and the World Series titles and 28 seasons, and he was a very understated guy. And now you have Tony Vitello, who has no Major League pedigree whatsoever and who is, by all accounts, not an understated guy. He's going to be a personality in the clubhouse, and if that personality meshes with the Giants players, I think this will work out well.
All right, now, given what you're saying here, we also know the Giants haven't made the playoffs in 4 straight years. How do you think Vitello's success will be measured? By wins, by culture, or something else?
Yeah, and it's worse than that. Not only have they not made the playoffs in 4 years, but you go back to 2017, and they've finished 3rd or lower in the National League West every year except for 2021. So this is a prolonged streak of this organization not being where it wants to be and where it expects to be. He has to win. And I don't think that means he needs to come in and topple the Dodgers in 2026. I think that's probably unlikely. But he has to show improvement. This team has been mired in an incredible stretch of mediocrity for the last 5 seasons where they seem to have between 78 and 81 wins every single year. That's not bad, but it's not particularly good, and it's certainly not sufficient for what this organization or what the fan base expects. So he's going to have to come in and win, but I think culture is going to be the early barometer of what kind of a fit this is for the franchise.
Okay, and last question here for you, Scott. With Vitello's track record of turning around a college program and winning a national title, what kind of excitement and hope do you think this is going to bring for Giants fans?
You know, I think there's always hope springs eternal every time you have change of this magnitude. And I think that the fact that Buster Posey, who is a young, up-and-coming head of baseball operations, hired what he hopes will be a young, up-and-coming, high-upside manager who is 47 years old, I think that there will be a lot of excitement, a lot of intrigue, a lot of curiosity when we get to spring training in February. So expectations should be muted for the immediate future because, again, you're dealing with a division where the Dodgers are the 800-pound gorilla. You have a really good Padres team, and you have a legitimately good Arizona Diamondbacks team. So this is tough sledding. The Giants are in a very difficult situation, but they do have not only the players in place, but I think the financial upside where they can spend more money this offseason and put together a roster that wins baseball games next year and that is competitive, certainly at least for a wild card spot. So I think there's a wide range of outcomes. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you how this is going to go in 2026, but I do think that the fan base is going to be extremely intrigued by where this might head.
All right, KRON 4 Sports Director Scott Reiss, we know you'll be